Okay, welcome back to Miss Hasna's Literary Corner. We just found out that Klondike and Snow have a disease called Rickets. So let's figure out more from here. Klondike and Snow, Part 2. Rickets is caused by a lack of vitamin D, which the body needs in order to absorb calcium and build strong bones. Right away, both cubs were given an injection of vitamin D, and their milk was once again made with cod liver oil because it has a lot of vitamin D in it. This time, the milk didn't bother Klondike's stomach. Since Snow had been growing faster than Klondike, her bones were more affected by the rickets. The two bears were separated so that Snow could rest without having her brother bumping her or climbing over her. Man, sounds like some human siblings I know. Snow had trouble getting comfortable and often whimpered to be held. Cindy comforted the small bear and hoped the new milk would make her feel better. So this is Cindy feeding Snow, or feeds Snow. Fractions of 24-hour day, or of a 24-hour day. Klondike and Snow were at the zoo hospital every day from 8 in the morning until 5 o'clock at night. They spent 9 hours at the zoo. They spent the next 15 hours they spent at the home of Cindy, Denny, or Dr. Kenny. Since there are 24 hours in a day, you can see from the chart below that 3 hours is equal to 1/8, or spelled 1/8 of a day. 9 hours is 3 times as much, 9 hours is 3 times that much. It is equivalent to 3/8, or 3/8 spelled out of a day. 15 hours is equal to 5/8, or 5/8 of a day. So 3 hours is only 1/8. 9 hours is 3/8. 15 hours is 5/8. So you can see from here, they spent the majority of the time with the zookeepers. So the bears spent 3/8 of every day at the actual zoo and 5/8 of the day at a caretaker's home. Oh, the cubs snooze with Cindy. The cubs rest on an ice pillow. Both bears got better quickly with cod liver oil in their milk. A week later, an x-ray showed that the cubs' bones had begun to heal. Snow often laid still on the nursery floor like a small bear rug. A physical therapist who had worked with animal patients for a local vet was called in to help Snow strengthen her muscles. Slowly, she got stronger. And by the way, a physical therapist is a person who they don't just help animals, they help people as well. After they get injured, it helps you relearn how to get stronger and use your muscles again. The cubs started to get their baby teeth, and they fussed because their gums hurt. Cindy soaked towels in water, rolled them up, and put them in the freezer. The bears liked chewing on the frozen towels. Later, Cindy gave them large ice blocks to suck on. Klondike and Snow used the ice as a pillow when they took their naps. At 2 months, the bears weighed 10 pounds each. But hand-raised polar bears at other zoos had weighed 15 pounds at 2 months. Klondike and Snow weren't growing fast enough. Making polar bear milk using halves. When Klondike and Snow were 2 months old, the zoo staff decided that the bears needed more protein in their milk to help them grow faster. The original recipe had 1/3, or spelled 1/3, puppy milk. Because puppy milk has more protein than half and half, Cindy knew she had to use a bigger fraction of puppy milk in the recipe. So she increased the amount of puppy milk in the recipe to half, or 1/2 of the whole amount. The chart below shows that 1/2 is bigger than 1/3. So, originally it was broken into 3 parts. 2 parts half and half, 1 part puppy milk. Now they're making it equal. Cindy mixed 2 cups of puppy milk with 2 cups of half and half. Since the whole amount was in 4 equal parts, you could say, 2 parts or 2/4 were puppy milk, 2 parts or 2/4 were half and half, and 2/4 reduces to 1/2. But the puppy milk is supposed to be 1/2 or 1/2 of the whole amount, not 2/4. The chart below shows that 1/2 and 2/4 are equivalent or equal fractions. So they do mean the same. After the milk was mixed, cod liver oil and vitamins were added again. Get your paws off my ball. The last change to the milk recipe was made at 2.5 months, and after that, the bears grew rapidly. At 3 months, Klondike finally weighed a lot more than his sister and could pull himself around on the floor with his front paws. He still had trouble rolling from his back to his stomach. He would paw the air and struggle until he could flip over. Normally, a baby bear can walk when he's 2 months old. Because they had had Rickets, Klondike and Snow were late in their development. With each week that passed, the bears got stronger. One week, Klondike was walking around slowly. Was walking around slowly. The next week, he could run across the room. Cindy kept working with Snow, helping her stand against a red ball to strengthen her legs. Finally, Snow began to walk. So here, making polar bear milk using fifths. At 2.5 months, Klondike and Snow still weren't growing as fast as the zoo staff thought they should be. Cindy needed to change the recipe for bear milk again. She needed to use a formula that had more puppy milk than 1/2 of the whole amount. Think about that. Needed more puppy milk than 1/2 of the whole amount. From the chart below, you can see that the fraction 1/5, or 1/5 spelled out, is smaller than 1/2. This goes along with our rule that the bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. But when you add 3 of the 1/5 parts together, you get the fraction 3/5, which is bigger than the fraction 1/2. So that's why she had to break it into fifths, because she needed more puppy milk than half and half. So it was just 1/2, which was 4 parts. But if she needs more puppy milk, she had to break it into fifths. Cindy mixed 3 cups of puppy milk with 2 cups of half and half to make a whole set of 5 cups. Since the whole amount was in 5 equal parts, you could say 3 parts or 3/5 were puppy milk, and 2 parts or 2/5 were half and half. And again, we can still add all of these because of our common denominators. Swimming lessons. When the cubs were about 3 months old, Cindy began to mix canned dog food with the bear's milk. Klondike liked to turn his bowl over and dump the mixture on the floor. Sometimes Snow would crawl through the spilled milk. Then her brother would lick the food off of her fur. Well, that's one way to eat. The bears were now old enough to learn to swim. Cindy and Denny set up a swimming pool in the nursery. Klondike got right in the pool. But Snow was cautious. She watched Klondike swim underwater like a furry submarine. Denny had to pick her up and put her in the pool. When the bears were 5 months old, they were big enough to leave the nursery and go to a regular zoo exhibit. At first, they were afraid to go in the large outdoor pool. Cindy and Dr. Kenny wore wetsuits and swam in the pool, coaxing the bears to join them. And remember, coaxing means trying to entice or trying to bribe to get them to come in. Before long, however, the bears grew so big and powerful that it was too dangerous for humans to be with them anymore. Fourths and eighths. What did they put in my milk? At 3 months, the bears were drinking only 4 bottles of milk a day, though they had also got some milk mixed into their solid food. For each bear, the whole amount or set was 4 bottles, so that 1 bottle was 1/4, or 1/4 spelled, of the whole set. Instead of drinking 8 bottles a day, or 1 bottle every 3 hours, as they did when they were 1 month old, the bears were now drinking 4 bottles a day, or 1 every 6 hours. From the chart below, you can see that 1/4, or 1/4 spelled, is a bigger fraction than 1/8. In fact, 1/4 is twice as big as 1/8. And you can see that because 1/8 fits in twice. 1/4 and 2/8 are equivalent or equal fractions. Happy birthday, Klondike and Snow. Shortly after their first birthday, Klondike and Snow went to SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida. Cindy and Dr. Kenny flew with them on a plane from Colorado to Florida. The bears settled into their new home quickly and were soon catching the trout that swam around their new pool. When Cindy went to visit the bears a few years later, she watched them play and wrestle in the water. Klondike and Snow had grown into beautiful, healthy adult animals. After a time, the bears got out of the pool. Klondike went to the back of the exhibit to wait for his dinner, but Snow came toward the glass where the visitors were watching. Suddenly, she got very excited, stood on her hind legs, and pounded the glass with her paws. Even after all this time that had passed, Snow still recognized Cindy. Weights of adult polar bears. Klondike loves playing with pumpkin, so this is a way to keep them entertained. Both bears grew a lot in their first year of life. During the next few years, Klondike grew much bigger than Snow. Adult male polar bears are usually much bigger than female polar bears, so that's why they wanted Klondike to grow faster than his sister. When Snow was full grown, she weighed about 450 pounds, while Klondike weighed about 900 pounds. If you want to compare Snow's weight to Klondike's weight using a fraction, it would look like this. So 450 over 900. In the chart below, you can see that 450 or 450 pounds is 1/2 of 900 pounds. So if you divided this, that means this fraction itself reduces to 1/2. So this actually is an equivalent fraction with that. So Snow weighs about half as much as Klondike. And again, here are some of the pictures of them raising. So Cindy helps the bear strengthen their legs. So this is what the red ball that they were talking about. There's Papa Bear, so this is probably Dr. Kenny. Snow plays peekaboo. Klondike and Snow fight over a ball. And here, feeding the 2 bears at once is a challenge. And that is the end of our polar bear math. So I do hope this helped you to review, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.